Hey, my name is Aaron Burke. Welcome to Leadership Lessons that have impacted my life. Today, I want to talk to you about how attitude is everything. You can't choose your situation, but you can choose your attitude. And great leaders choose an attitude that is positive despite negative situations. It reminds me of an airplane. On an airplane, there is a gauge that's called the attitude gauge. And what the attitude gauge is it references really the orientation of the plane in connection with the ground. So if the attitude is down, then the plane is going down. If the attitude is up, then the plane is going up. And it really brings about this connection to where how your attitude determines your altitude. Where you are in orientation with the ground determines how high or how low you will go. It is the same with leadership. Your attitude really determines how high you will go in leadership and how low you will go in leadership. I've realized that the best leaders I know haven't always been handed the greatest situations, but they always have the greatest attitude despite bad situations. And this has been tested with me for years and years and years. I have gone into situations where I'm in a service and the sound goes out, or the video messes up, or the AC goes out in the room. And it's interesting how everybody's watching me as the leader. And if I'm frantic and I'm chaotic, the people are chaotic. But if I'm calm and I'm collected, guess what happens? Even if I'm positive, the whole room can shift. It reminds me of a thermostat versus a thermometer. A thermostat can adjust the room based on what they want it to be colder or to be hot. But a thermometer, what does it do? It just reads the room and goes along with it. A lot of leaders are thermometers in the sense that things are negative, they get negative. Things are sad, they get sad. And that is not a great way to lead. You have to have an attitude that adjusts the other attitudes in the room. I remember years ago, I was leading some internships with a lot of young leaders that were training for ministry. And one of my key things for them is that they could never state the obvious that was negative. For instance, we're out doing a run. I don't want to hear someone say it's hot. You know why? Because that's a bad attitude. You know what that's going to do? It's going to make everybody else miserable. It starts to rain and somebody says it always. "Yeah, it's raining." We all know it's raining. We don't need you to bring the rest of us down. It's the same way. When life happens, you don't need to state the obvious. You don't need to go into a situation and bring everybody else down. Have an attitude that adjusts the situation to make it better. That's why Colossians 3:17 says, "Whatever you do in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus." Can you imagine that? Like a hard task, a difficult task, but you're doing it in the name of the Lord Jesus. You're doing it in a positive way, saying, you know what? This might not be a great task, but I'm going to have a great attitude because I'm doing it as unto the Lord. I'm not doing it based on how much I like to do it. I'm doing it based on the fact that God has given me this opportunity, and I'm going to have a positive attitude about it. I realize in life that people with a positive attitude usually end up having a positive life and positive influence. But people that always have a negative attitude, they're the Debbie Downers. They're always talking about what's wrong. Nobody wants to follow them. People want to follow a positive leader, that there is hope ahead of them, that there is encouragement that's coming out of them, that there is a hill that we're able to climb and we can do it. It reminds me of the spies that go into the promised land. What happens? 10 of them come back and they're looking at the giants. 2 of them coming back, and what do they see? They see grapes that are huge and they see milk and honey, and they go, "We can do this." Be a leader that has a "we can" attitude. We can accomplish it. We can overcome it. Are there giants in the land? Of course, but God's been with us and God will be with us in the future. That's the kind of attitude that people want to have. So let me be very practical with it. What do we do when things are not great? Here's what I've realized is that I have to have moments with God where I can vent my negativity to God without venting it to everybody else around me. That's great leadership, because if I vent it to everybody else around me, you know what happens? They are all affected. But when I vent it to God, he can handle it. His mood is not affected. And that now gives me the opportunity to vent to him, to receive help from him, so that I can go into even a difficult scenario with a smile on my face, even though I've had internal turmoil about it, and watch how my positive attitude will be that thermostat to have the whole room changed. It'll be the attitude that'll bring our plane to the next level. Be a positive leader. Speak life. Encourage people around you. Don't state the obvious. That's negative. And watch how God will use you. Attitude is everything. Hey, I hope this video was helpful to you. You can subscribe to this channel to stay updated on fresh, new content every single week. And I'd love to have you join me one Sunday at Radiant Church in the Tampa Bay area, or you can watch the messages online here on YouTube. Well, thanks again for watching. The best is yet to come.